AM 1460, the new WXBR. You're listening to the Metro South Morning Show. Peter Zimborn and Mike Pava here with you on a Monday morning. Joining me now via the telephone is a guitarist best known for his work with Ozzy Osbourne and his own band, Black Label Society. Black Label Society will be in the area later this week, north of us in Guilford, New Hampshire on Wednesday, and south of us at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut on Friday. It's the one and only Zakk Wylde. Zakk, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hey, thanks a lot, Pete. You forgot to mention Led Zeppelin, the Stones, the Beatles. I'm doing it right now. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Everything's working out. Yeah.
You've been
screamed at by the wife that I got interviews. It's okay.
You've been a part of every legendary rock and roll band under the sun and yelled at your wife.
It never ends, dude. It never ends.
Well, this week you'll be taking to the stage at the Gigantour along with Megadeth. Hell yeah, Jason Newsted, formerly of Metallica, back playing metal with his own solo band. This is a tour that has really picked up the slack since a tour like Ozfest left us a few years ago. Whatever happened to the Ozfest? Ozzy's back touring this summer, not in festival form, and how does this tour differ?
Well, no, I mean, the Ozfest was awesome. I mean, it was really amazing because, I mean, the whole thing, there wasn't when Mom created that thing, there wasn't a platform for hard rock, you know what I mean? Because you had Lollapalooza and you had all the other stuff, which is awesome too. But it's just, but for the hard rock community, and there was no gathering for that. So when Mom put that thing together, it was brilliant because you could have the established bands on there, and then you had all the upcoming, talent and all the new breed coming up. So I mean, it was great, but. No, whenever you do festivals, ever since I started with the Boss when I was 19 back in 1987 or whatever, the whole thing is they're always great. I mean, like with this one right now, I mean, I'm friends with Dave and I'm friends with actually all the guys that are on this thing I'm buddies with. So it's just basically like a high school reunion, dysfunctional family gathering gone insane. So it's going to be a good time, man.
And we should mention, when you mention Mom and Boss, Mom is Sharon Osbourne, Boss is Ozzy Osbourne, correct?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Now, whatever happened to the Ozfest? Why did it seemingly go away? And now that Ozzy is back touring with Black Sabbath, why is he doing his own summer tour, headlining, not in the festival format?
I'm not sure. You'll have to ask Mom about that.
Someday, perhaps, I will ask Mom about that. Once again, we're chatting with Zakk Wylde here on AM 1460, the new WXBR in town or in the area with Black Label Society this week, Wednesday in New Hampshire, Friday at the Mohegan Sun Casino. Zakk, you're playing with all your friends this summer. Black Label Society has a new album coming out this fall, so this will be a nice opportunity for you guys to work out some of your material on the upcoming album in front of live audiences for the first time, correct?
Well, we're going to have, we just got done doing this thing, Pete, this Unblackened thing, because we got approached by the record company about doing another DVD, like a live DVD, and I was just like, well, we've done two with the heavy type stuff and everything like that, obviously different material because, more records and stuff like that, but instead of doing the same one, I said, well, because people are always asking when we're going to go around doing just the mellow stuff, just like a accumulation of just all the mellow tunes. So, because usually in the live show, we'll break out the piano and do maybe like, 2 or 3 mellow songs tops. But I mean, the rest of it's just, it's between the Steel Curtain of Marshall, Doom up there. It's just, that's what it is. So the whole thing is when we're doing the heavy shows, it's the heavy show mixed in with a little bit of the mellow stuff, but not a full-on, like, going to go out and do the mellow stuff. So that's what we put together. So we did a one-off at Club Nokia out here in Los Angeles. So it was a Black Label family gathering once again, and, we were the house band, and we filmed that and recorded it, and so for the DVD and a CD. So that'll be coming out in September. So we just got done wrapping that up before. Obviously, we're going to go out on rehearsals for Black Label Boot Camp for Gigantour. And because there's going to be bonus tracks on it and stuff like that, some studio stuff that I just got finished.
Now, there's been a plethora. There's been a plethora of different musicians to be a part of Black Label Society over the years. You've been the one real constant member of the band, a rotating cast of musicians surrounding you. You've had some great musicians with you in that band for tours here and there. Who is performing with you as far as other musicians are concerned on this upcoming tour this week in the area?
Well, we got Jay Deezus, the Mongoose on bass over there from the New Jersey chapter. And then you have from the Pittsburgh chapter, you got the Evil Twin, Nick Katniss, and Chad Zaliga from the Pennsylvania chapter. So on the Skins, and he is the Cobra. So no, but the unique thing about Black Label is all the guys that roll in Black Label are, like, obviously all my buddies, but that are just amazing ass-kicking musicians and great guys. So the whole thing is the beautiful thing about the band is we won't get into pissy fits and arguments and stuff like that, because obviously I roll with the guys who are all grown men, so we don't really have enough time. There is no time for drama. So the whole thing is you get out there, you whoop some ass, hopefully you can pay your bills and buy yourself a toy by the time you get home, and then we get back together and do it again. But if you can get a gig with Celine Dion for the next 2 years, and you're going to be able to buy, a couple mansions down in Malibu, then you got to do that, because you can always come back, and once you're in, it's always your home away from home.
What's the most unique outside of heavy metal musical job any member of Black Label Society has ever had outside of being with Black Label Society? You just mentioned someone touring with Celine Dion. Is that just an example, or is there something like that that's happened?
The first recording record I've ever done, I played with Ginger Lynn, who's a porn star, legendary porn star. So, yeah, it started there. So I could just see my mother at home when I was, probably 17 years old playing on that record with, a land of, just the porn stars going for it everywhere, enough cocaine that, more cocaine than on the set of Scarface. And my mother's at home sitting there going, I'm so proud of my Zackie.
Now, was Ginger Lynn trying to do music at one point in her career?
What's that?
Did Ginger Lynn try to move away from porn and do music at one point during her career?
Yeah, why not? Whatever pays the bills, right?
And you were performing with Ginger Lynn. Did you enjoy that?
Hey, listen, like my parents told me, whatever you're going to do, give it everything you got.
Any good stories come out of the recording sessions with Ginger Lynn while we have you on the air talking about this?
I'm just saying, when I wrote that book, Bringing Metal to the Children, I don't have to think of material. It's like Seinfeld. We really don't need to search for material. The material literally just lands in your lap. So, I think if you ask any musician, they'll tell you, hands down, all you got to do is jump in a van and start touring. It doesn't, whether you're as big as Led Zeppelin or you're, just ask the Beatles or the Stones, right? And they'll tell you from the beginning when they were playing in front of 5 people till now when they're doing stadiums, the comedy still never ends.
Once again, we're chatting with Zakk Wylde of Black Label Society here on AM 1460, the new WXBR, the Metro South Morning Show. Zakk, we were talking about the different cast of characters playing in your band moments ago. This week, you're touring with Megadeth, Hell Yeah. Jason Newsted, you mentioned you're friends with Dave Mustaine of Megadeth. Hell Yeah. On the Skins is Vinnie Paul, who it's well documented you have a long history with. Jason Newsted, formerly of Metallica, is back playing
Jason
metal.
Actually, Father Newsted over there played with me with Ozzy. We were in the band when Roberto went and started playing with the Metallica fellas. Jason came and jammed with us.
Was there any awkwardness around that when Robert Trujillo left Ozzy Osbourne to take the gig with Metallica? Jason Newsted left Metallica and then subsequently just ended up in Ozzy Osbourne?
Because everyone thinks there's all fusion. Jason's still friends with the Metallica guys, and Robert still talks with the boss, and he still talks with Mom. So, no, there isn't any weird. Nothing. It's just like, hey, what's going on, brother? How you been? How's everything going? So, when I just saw Jason over at the Golden Gods, he's doing great, man. And his band's kicking ass, and he's having a blast doing it.
It seemed like for a while, save for the Ozzy Osbourne experiment with him, I think he did 1 or 2 tours with you guys with Ozzy Osbourne post-Metallica, but it seemed like he did a lot of experimental material on his own solo and sort of strayed away from playing hard rock and heavy metal, whereas now, if you've listened to the new Newsted songs, he's
done
very
a lot
hard.
Of things. He's done some polka, he's done jazz, he's done fusion, and now he's back to doing the rock stuff.
So he just had to get the other stuff out of his system and come back home eventually.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's because he's a true musician.
Now, I mentioned all the different musicians that are on this tour along with you. Any chance we'll see any guest musicians get up on stage and jam with you, considering you'll be around the likes of Vinnie Paul, Dave Mustaine, and Jason Newsted, amongst
I'm sure
others
when
all
we
the
get
time?
out on the road and we start talking and stuff like that, we'll figure out what we're going to do. Or who knows, like all of us come out at the end of the night and do a jam or something like that. So, I'm sure when I get out there with the fellas, we'll figure something out.
At the top of this interview, we could hear in the background your wife sort of yelling at you that you were doing this interview and probably not paying attention to what she wanted you to pay attention to.
Yeah, obviously, between juggling chainsaws, changing diapers, splitting the atom, which doesn't need to be split because it's already been done. But, in between all that and cleaning the Rottweiler dog run, she just had to notify me that she's like, jackass, you got to get on the phone to do an interview.
How has touring changed for you over the years, considering that you've not only gotten older, but you now have a wife and family? And how has it changed over the years touring with guys who are probably in a similar boat as you, who have gotten older and matured and had wives and families?
Well, I mean, it's a weird thing because I know some of my buddies that are I'm 46 now, so I started with Ozzy when I was 19. But, I mean, it's a weird thing, because people are just like, oh, man, it's going to, it's going to change you. It's going to change your life. I still think the same way as I did when I was playing, in front of 8 people and 7 of them were homeless in the club. So, that I did when I was playing Madison Square Garden with Ozzy we just did a gig over in Donington last year with Black Label in front of 120,000 people. So, I mean, put it this way, if I was boxing, when I played football, I don't care whether the team we're playing is 0-14 or the team we're playing is 14-0. Whoever we're playing, we're going to destroy them. So, I mean, the whole thing is you play to win. So, I mean, to me, I don't understand. Well, I don't understand the sense of getting up in the morning if that's not the way you look at life. So, to me, I love touring, and that's the reason why you have the posters. When I was 14 years old, I had posters on my wall of Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and Randy Rhoads, and the whole 9 yards. Part of touring is part of the job. It's almost kind of like, I just think it's silly. It's almost kind of like you have a fear of heights, but you're going to apply for a job for working on skyscrapers.
When you were mentioning various big shows that you've played over the years with different acts you've been a part of, I thought you were going to mention, since we're here in Boston, your experience playing with the Allman Brothers at Great Woods in Mansfield years back.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm blessed. I thank the good Lord every day when I wake up in the middle of the day and when I go to bed. So, I mean, it's just, a chance to, and I've been blessed with the fact that when I've met all my heroes, I got them on a good day. So the experience wasn't ruined, so I could never listen to their music again. But the Allman Brothers, that was a dream come true as well. You know what I mean?
Once again, we're chatting with Zakk Wylde here on the Metro South Morning Show. Zakk, I want to get your thoughts on an album that was released in recent weeks from Black Sabbath, the first Black Sabbath album since 1978, a live studio album to feature Ozzy Osbourne on vocals. What is your thoughts on the new album from the guys who pretty much invented the genre of heavy metal?
No, I think it's amazing. And the guys did a really great job. And obviously, I'm friends with Rick Rubin. I said from the beginning, when Rick was going to be working with him, you couldn't ask for them, a better guy that loves the music and, is going to be a friend in there and work with the guys to make the best record they could. So, which they did, man. So, no, I'm really happy for it, man. And then the album with number, I was talking to Oz the other day, and it's like the album's number one. I, congratulate the guys, and Tony Iommi and everything, and Geezer. I said, yeah, the album's number one in 50 countries. And as we speak at this moment, also on Mars, Jupiter, and Venus since last time I checked. So, no, it's great, man. I'm so happy for them because, like you said, they did create the genre of music. So they really did. So, I mean, for the whole hard rock community and for all of us to be able to, make a living and put food on the table and put a roof over your head because of the style of music they created.
Once again, we're chatting with Zakk Wylde here on the Metro South Morning Show. Zakk, while I've got you on the phone, let's play some name association. I'll give you a name. You tell me what you associate with them, okay?
Okay.
We'll start off with Vinnie Paul, drummer for Hell Yeah, known for his work with Pantera and Damage Plan, amongst other bands, touring with you this week.
No, Vinnie Paul, he's a brother. I love him to death. So even though he's a Dallas Cowboy fan and I'm a New York Giant guy, but the whole time I love Vincenzo. I had just had to introduce Vinny in his Vegas Rocks Awards for lifetime achievement, as drummer in Pantera. But but when I did the speech, it was really, I didn't have to write anything or anything like that because I just like I told Vinny, I said what Pantera did, they changed the genre of their music just like Sabbath did, and I was saying they are the Led Zeppelin and Sabbath of that genre of music. You know what I mean? So. Extreme metal. So, the whole thing is, I just told Vinny, I go, it's the truth about, he's the John Bonham of that music. I said, just like how much, Vinny loves John Bonham, I go, that's what you are to the new breed of drummers, you know what I mean? So, I love Vinny, man. He's the best.
Tony Iommi.
The Lord of the Riff. I call him Lord Iommi. So, no, but I mean, I've gotten to be, friends with all my heroes and my idols. So, but no, Tony's, it's amazing. I mean, what they created. Obviously everything was spawned out of blues and everything from, jazz to anything like that. But Tony's he loves Barney Kessel, who's an amazing, legendary jazz guitar player. But I'm saying how things mutate and spawn into other things, other styles of music, and become what it is. But it created the whole. It's not just a style; it's a whole genre of music, really. Like as if jazz didn't exist because jazz was born out of blues. They created metal, and like Zeppelin. When you really think about it, the first probably metal band was Cream, with "Sunshine of Your Love" and everything like that. But so from there came Zeppelin and then Sabbath and everything like that. But it's just but Sabbath really put the stamp on that style of riff with "Into the Void" and "Children of the Grave" and everything like that.
And we'll finish off with Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne.
Well, so I started the fact that I've always loved Oz, since I was 12 years old, being a huge Sabbath freako, and then obviously when he started with St. Rhodes over there with Randy, and just loving Ozzy and Randy. But I started with them when I was 19, so and Ozzy's the godfather of our oldest son, so no, but that's why I call Mrs. O, I call her Mom, because she's been basically like my mother since I've been 19 years old. So, and Oz is, like I always say, I've been blessed. I have the coolest dudes on the planet. I had my father and I had Oz. So just two great older guys.
Once again, we're chatting with Zakk Wylde here on the Metro South Morning Show of Black Label Society, playing 2 area shows this week, Wednesday in New Hampshire, Friday down at the Mohegan Sun. Zakk, at the top of this interview, we had a guest cameo appearance from your wife, and later in the interview, you told an anecdote about one of your first recording experiences where you played guitar for porn star Ginger Lynn. You gave us your mom's reaction to you performing with porn stars in a studio. What would your wife think if you were to record music with Ginger Lynn or any other porn star of her like at this point in time?
No, she was there with me when
Really?
we were 17 years old. I've been with my wife for 28 years.
That's a cool chick. She was a keeper at that point, and you knew it.
Well, at this point now, I go, Barbara, we want to make some extra per diem money for the fellas. Maybe we can hook you up with Ginger Lynn and she can get you in the business. Hey, listen, I'm just thinking of another source of income to get Black Label to the top.
On that note, Zakk, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. You guys playing in Guilford, New Hampshire this Wednesday and at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut on Friday. You guys have a new album coming out this September. Any final words for our listeners before I let you go this morning?
Yeah, just tell the New Hampshire chapter to stay strong, keep bleeding black, and we'll see you out on the Gigantor, man.
That's Zakk Wylde of Black Label Society joining us here on AM 1460, the new WXBR. You're listening to the Metro South Morning Show, PM in the AM. Peter Zimbor and Mike Pava here with you on this Monday morning. We'll step aside for a look at local news. We'll be back with more of the show after this.